Black women are at it again, and we gotta talk about it. So I don't know if you've seen this video, but this video started to hit my timeline on YouTube. Check it out.
For better,
For better,
for worse,
for worse,
for richer,
for richer,
for poor.
for poorer.
Yeah. We hit that snag about 20 times in counseling. Bria made it very clear to Jonathan, you cannot be broke. In sickness
In sickness
and in health.
and in health.
To love,
To love,
cherish,
cherish.
and to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling.
So the thing about it that annoys me more is that you don't have to be someone that's about to get married to know what the vows are. Also, words mean so much. The mere fact that people in the audience found it funny when she responded the way she did, it's also a little disheartening too. To a logical person watching this is a cautionary tale. You know someone is getting their ass wiped at the end of the day. Someone's gonna get fucked. We have a woman who is about to get married to this man. We have no idea how this came about, how they got to know each other. But throughout the vows being exchanged, you can kind of get an idea of how the relationship went.
To love,
To love,
cherish,
cherish.
and to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling.
And it sucks because she's saying, like, at first when I saw this video, I was thinking, who is this video supposed to benefit? Is this supposed to benefit the husband? Because it's making him look like a chump. And if it's supposed to benefit the wife, it's making her look like a whole asshole.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling.
She gets hung up only on the richer or for poor
For poor.
For poorer.
and the obedience aspect.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did.
And the husband laughs as if it's like the funniest thing for her to be like, oh, this wasn't discussed in counseling, Pastor. Like, what are you talking about? You've been to a wedding. You've seen a romantic comedy. You know what the marriage vows are supposed to be. So to come around and act like you were not aware that this was going to be a thing you're going to have to say to your husband when it comes to him being rich or poor, because when someone's rich, they just stay rich forever. And when it comes to just having a mutual respect for someone, being obedient is such a hard thing for someone to grasp that you need your pastor to explain it to you. You know what sucks about this too? So a while back I did a video about Black women demanding $100 for lunch. Now when I specify Black women, obviously all women to a certain degree are like this. It's not just Black women, but I'm Black. The women that were saying that were Black, thus we're talking about Black women. But anybody watching, you know someone that's like this. You know someone that's out here demanding way more than what they deserve, and people out here getting married to people that they should not be married to. Because this is happening with a Black couple, I'm saying Black, but we all know these people. We all know those people that end up saying their vows, putting a ring on it, and you're like, that marriage is going to end in a year. So you're watching this video. It's just kind of funny how people are trying to act like, and not like there were so many reactions to this video that I knew I had to say something, because this just falls in line with why most Black women are single. The idea that you would get hung up on two words, poor and obedience. How is this okay for people to just laugh at and be like, oh, Shaniqua, she's just being her normal crazy self. Now we're going to bring it back a bit. You know, I'm sure you probably heard this comparison a lot if you're on social media as much as I am, but I'm just going to bring it back to reality a bit. You don't have to go to a counselor. You don't have to go to a pastor to know how to be obedient to your boss at your job. Coming from a person that generally does not like working for people, I know that you have to be obedient. You have to do things that align with what the boss is telling you and what the company that you work for is saying that you have to do, whether you like it or not. Now, there's always going to be some sort of discourse. You are going to not agree with everything, but then that's when you have an adult conversation with someone to come to a reasonable conclusion. But at the end of the day, the boss is going to do what the boss wants to do, and the company's going to do what they want to do, and you need to fall in line or get another job.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out, 'cause I don't want ass prints on my new door.
The idea that some women are not understanding that the way you are obedient to a man at your job that's signing your check, that doesn't give a shit if you get sick or die, because you'll just be replaced. The idea that that's okay for them to do, like obey that man, but then to obey your husband who's you're living with, who loves you, who's taking care of you, who for the most part, if things happen, would be able to take care of you in a way to where you wouldn't have to work. And that's the problem. Obeying him is the problem. Just one thing I've always been good at when it came to like the relationships I've been in, and even current relationships, is that there was always a mutual level of respect when it came to people. And the thing about people that are successful and rich, they don't always stay rich. A lot of successful entrepreneurs, a lot of successful business owners, they get rich and then they lose their money and then they gain it back. And you want to know why? You learn things along the way. And so the fact that she was really excited about the rich part and then kind of like hesitant to repeat the poor part means that she's somewhat of an ignorant person. You know how many successful rappers back in the day don't have money because they didn't invest it and now they're broke as hell? There was one rapper, I think like not Run DMC, the dude that did Can't Touch This.
Yo, I told you can't touch this.
He ended up trusting his accountant a little too much and his accountant stole all of his money and now he's broke as hell and you have no idea where he's at right now. Like, people get rich and they can go broke quickly if you're not smart with your money. And it's kind of sad that you have women out here putting this kind of content on social media to benefit them somehow, some way. Like, you have to believe someone put this out there to either show how terrible this woman is or to boast how funny she is. Because this doesn't benefit either party. Like, even the pastor was like, no, we definitely discussed this. Poor in obedience. Like, I don't understand what you didn't understand about that, because the husband is saying the same exact thing to you. So, like, if you were to lose your job, what, you think the husband's going to get mad and break up with you? No. Do you think that if you ask your husband to do something in the house that he's going to say no? No, he's going to do it. So why is it difficult for some women to understand that if you want your husband to obey you when you ask for things, why is it so hard for you to obey him when he's asking for things? I don't know. It's just so odd. Again, the mutual respect is there. Like, you're not going to first off marry someone that you don't respect, that you don't like, that you are not sexually attracted to. So getting that out the way, there's no reason for anybody to think that it's an optional thing to obey someone that you're in a relationship with, especially if you trust and respect that person. Because if you are at that point where you're about to marry them, you would think there's nothing on this planet that you wouldn't do for that person. You're already saying in front of God that you're going to be spending the rest of your life with this person. So no matter what happens, this person's going to have my best interest at heart. I'm going to have their best interests, and we're going to make sure that we're both taken care of. So the idea of saying richer for poor, sickness and in health, being obedient should just come naturally because you've already been doing this. Which also proves that this chick is definitely in it for the money, and she was never obedient to that guy. That woman was doing whatever the hell she wanted. She was out doing girls trips, and her husband was sitting back just waiting for her to come home. He's texting her, she's not responding. You can just tell. Sometimes you don't need to know people's lives to know people's lives. Sometimes people showcase things that they think is funny, but it's actually like showcasing like some bad habits that they have. And like I said, we all have those people where you see them getting married or you see the engagement pictures on social media, like, that's going to end in like 2 years. They're not going to make it to the end of the first year. You know those people. So when I saw this video, I was just like, I would never. Maybe it was the videographer himself that posted it. Like, man, this bitch is rude as hell and I really want to expose her. It probably didn't even have to be the husband or the wife. It could have been just some rando person in the audience that already knew that guy should not marry that girl and he still decided to. So they wanted to expose her. I see that happening too. I don't know why some people need to have things explained to them the way they want to hear it as opposed to just understanding what words mean. I don't think I'm the smartest person on the planet, but I definitely know what goddamn words mean. Someone says rich or poor. Oh, so someone that has a lot of money and then somebody that ends up having no money. That makes sense. Oh, obedient. So if they ask me to do something, I'm not going to be, I'm not going to do it like a random ass raggedy kid. I'm going to be an adult about it because I know that if the roles were reversed and I asked them to do something for me, I would want them to do it. So it's just a level of respect that you clearly see is not there in that couple. But let me know in the comments below if you've seen this video. Do you know people like this? In my lifetime, in my life, personally, from the people that I've encountered, I want to say maybe there's like one relationship, maybe two marriages that I've seen, that I've witnessed, that have withstood the test of time. Like, they've been together for a long time. They just seem happy. Which also sucks too, is that sometimes people get married because they're just married to the idea of love, not realizing that love doesn't mean that you need to spend the rest of your life with somebody. Because you can love someone and still get a divorce. You can love someone and still not be with them. Sometimes when people think of marriage, they think, oh, I'm marrying this person because I love them, not understanding that it is a responsibility. Like, you guys that are in this marriage have a responsibility to each other to do X, Y, and Z. You know, to protect each other, to love each other, to care for each other, create a family together, build up the next generation of people that are going to be a benefit to society. Like, there's a lot of things that come into play that when you see people just marrying people because they love them, you already know what the outcome is. You just have to hope that someone signed a prenup, because if you don't, you're getting your ass wiped, because there ain't no way that I'm going to marry someone. Like me, from my experience with guys, there's no way I'm marrying someone just because I love them. There's just no goddamn way. And I think it's funny when people still believe in 2024 that everything has to be happy-go-lucky and the love has to be there all the time when you're married. Because there are going to be moments where you are not going to love that person. As a matter of fact, you're probably going to hate that person sometimes. You want to know why? You guys are sharing things. You guys are learning a lot of things about each other, and that's not always going to be a good thing. Compromise comes into play. Obedience comes into play. Understanding the person's viewpoint and their mindset is going to come into play. And some people don't get that. They just go on the love aspect and then they get mad when the love is gone. Because they don't live in reality. They live in some Disney fairy tale. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think. I really had to react to this and I really want to know what you guys think about this. I said black women. My title is going to say black women. But we all know women like this no matter what the race. And we all know men that are chumps that marry women that already give off red flags. If you guys don't know, I have a podcast where I share life as I'm traveling the US, because my goal is to travel the US. But with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're always notified about the new videos that I have coming out. I love you all, and I hope to see you all in the next video.